So let us now move on to the another database modification scheme, recovery scheme, which is called an immediate database modification. As opposed to the deferred that we saw earlier. Alright. So this allows uncommitted writes. So previously all writes were committed, right? So this allows uncommitted writes. So that means even if the transaction has not committed, the write of it can go through to the database. Okay, fine. And the write records read both the old value and the new value. Both of them are needed. Okay, otherwise this is wrong. Okay. Now once more remember that log is written before the actual thing is being done. So log is written before the actual operation. So this is very important and we will see why this is important. Okay. So first the log is written and then the actual write operation is, if needed, is done to the database. Okay, fine. So just like the same thing, when a transaction crashes, so again the log is searched, and everything for this commit T is searched. So if all the records, all the transactions with commit T is being searched. Fine. And if commit T is found, so there are two cases, if found. So this commit T record is searched, and if it is not found, but the transaction has started, so that means there is some start T somewhere. The transaction has started but it has not committed. So that means that what may happen is that there may be some writes in between which has gone to the database but the transaction has not committed, so there may be some errors in it. So what the transaction needs to do is to undo. What does undoing essentially do is that the transaction, this is the failed transaction, but it may have already written some values to the database assuming it is going to be correct. Now it is not correct. So it must be undone. So what is an example? If we see that banking example back, and failure transaction may be that A's money has been debited but before B's has been credited it has failed. Now that means the commit T is missing. So that debit operation from A's account must be undone. That means A's must be restored to the previous value. Now for undoing, of course, you read the old value. So this is undone. Okay. If on the other hand the commit T record is found, then what may happen is that not all the records, not all the writes in that may have actually traversed to the database. So this needs to traverse to the database, right? Not all of them may have actually gone to the database. So this needs to be redone. So all the transaction needs to be redone. So now the point is the same as the previous scheme, is that the transaction has said it has committed, that means it has successfully completed all the operations, but all these operations may not have gone to the database. So the database values may not have been updated and there is no guarantee that it has been updated. It's only been, the commit is only being written to the log, that's the log is being checked. So it needs to be redone. So just to ensure that if the transaction said it has successfully completed, all its operations are actually being done on the database. So that is why both undo and redo is needed. So this is why this scheme is also sometimes called an undo redo recovery scheme, because both undoing and redoing is needed. Okay. One important thing is that both of these, as I said earlier, see, redo and undo both are idempotent operations because there may be multiple crashes, etc., and the undoing and redoing may be needed to be done again and again and again. So this must be an idempotent operation. Okay. More importantly, how is this undoing and redoing done? In what is the order in which these things are being done? So this is the way. So the undoing must be done in the order of the reverse of the log. So undoing is done in the order reverse of the log and redoing is done in the forward order of the log. So undoing is in the reverse order of log records, which is intuitive and easy to understand, while the redoing is in the forward order of log records. Okay, but even then one more important question comes is that suppose there are transactions, one transaction needs to be undone and the other needs to be redone. Which one should be done earlier? Should the undo be done first and then the redone, or should the redone be done first and then the undo? The answer is the undoing must be done before the redoing. So first everything that a failed transaction has done must be undone, and then the transaction that has correctly completed will be redone. The reason is, suppose consider a particular data item x. Now suppose transaction 0 on x has failed while transaction 1 on x has passed. Now that means the right value of x should be reflected as whatever has been written by T1. So if T1, the redoing of T1 is done first and then the undoing of T0 is done, T0 may then roll back the value to what T1 has been written. So as what T1 has written, so that is not the correct thing. So first T0 should undo the value of whatever it has written to x, and then T1 is redoing it, so that because T1 is correct, has finished correctly, so the value that after T1 has done is now reflected into the database. So this is a very, very important point, that undoing must be done before redoing. So undo and then redo. This is very, very important. Okay, now let us just see an example to understand this completely. So here is the example. So start of T0, and this is the same example as we saw earlier, but with one important difference is that the old values are now recorded. So the 3 is the old value. So in the last time we did not require the old values, it was not there. Oh, by the way, one important thing is that the abort statement is required here, because the transaction may just say, I mean, this is it has failed, and it may write the abort statement. Anyway, coming back to the example, so this is what this is done. So there are two transactions, T0 and T1, and T0 has written the value of A. It has changed it from 3 to 9, and T1 is changing B from 2 to 5. Then T1 is also changing the value of A from 9 to 7, and then there is a commit T1. Okay, fine. So now suppose the crash happens after this statement, the write T0 statement. Now this is being searched, the log is being searched. What is found is that a transaction T0 has started, but it has not committed. So what is being done is that T0 is undone. So undo T0, because T0 has started but has got no commit thing. So T0 may have already written this value of A to 9, which is wrong, because T0 is wrong, so it should roll back the value to 3. So undoing of T0 is done. Okay, and so the value is now set back to 3. Okay, all right. Now suppose there is a crash after the write to T1, but only after the B statement. This is the thing. So again, the log is being searched, etc. And what is being done is that T1 has started but not finished. So T1 is being undone, and T0 has started and finished. So T0 needs to be redone. And the order must be that undoing of T1 is first and redoing of T0 is then. So essentially once more undo T1 will be done earlier than redo of T0. So then this will undoing of T1 will restore the value of B back to 2, and redoing of T0 will restore the value of A to 9, because this is the new value that needs to be written. Okay, and finally suppose there is a crash after the commit T1 statement. So again everything is being searched, and then both T1 and T0 needs to be redone, and again the redoing operation should be done in the order in which they have committed. So redo T0 and then redo T1, because otherwise you see the value of A will be wrong. So again, after this is being done, B is the new value of B is written, and A is the new value, which is the 7, this value. If this is not done in this order, then the A will be wrong. This is just like the previous scheme. So that's the point of this two recovery management systems, the deferred database modification scheme and the immediate database modification scheme. Just to summarize, the deferred meaning the writes are deferred till it commits, and immediate meaning the writes can go immediately after it has been written on the log, but the log record must be written first.